third principle on healing is our legal might, our legal power. Because sometimes you can say, well, do I have authority? Do I have this? And with that comes doubt. As soon as you say if or do, then you're introducing some doubt. The same thing as, the serpent in the Garden of Eden. He sowed doubt by saying, "Did God say?" Well, God has certainly said, but when you start to question, well, did God say, and does this apply to me? Then you're getting on shaky ground. When you realize you have the authority, that it's given to you, then you have all that you need for exercising the gifts of healing. Let's turn to one of the Gospels. This is Luke chapter 4. It's all about a pretty dramatic healing, and it happened in Capernaum. So, Luke chapter 4, verses 31 through 37. Then Jesus went down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and was teaching them on the Sabbath. And they were astonished at his teaching, for his word was with authority. Now in the synagogue there was a man who had a spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be quiet, and come out of him." And when the demon had thrown him in their midst, it came out of him and did not hurt him. Then they were all amazed and spoke among themselves, saying, "What a word this is." Let's get into the Greek. What a logos this is. So that word, the word became flesh. The message of the gospel became flesh. What a word this is. For with authority, and the Greek word there is exousia, and power, dyname, which is where we get the word dynamite. So what a logos this is, for with exousia and dyname, he commands the unclean spirits and they come out. And the report about him went out into every place surrounding the region. Now, when you exercise authority in healing, when you exercise authority in spiritual gifts, you are appropriating the logos of God. You're appropriating Jesus. With that comes his authority. All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. You appropriate his authority, and then as you express his authority, you do it with power. What word of this can happen to you, where you can announce healings, you can announce the good news, you can announce it with authority and with power. Now, you have it. It's from Matthew chapter 10, verse 1. And when he had called his 12 disciples to him, he gave them power, exousia, authority over unclean spirits, to cast them out and to heal all kinds of sickness and all kinds of disease. There's nothing left out of that. You have the authority to do it. Jesus has given you his authority. Further in Matthew, that same chapter, these are verses 5 through 8. These 12 Jesus sent out and commanded them, "Do not go into the way of the Gentiles. Do not enter a city of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, preach, saying," and this is our message, and he's now authorized us to go into all the world, so there aren't any limits anymore. "The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely give." That's our announcement. That's our message. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Visualize heaven, visualize what it means to be there, and then say, it's God's will for heaven to come down and be right in your body right now. You don't have to wait for some sweet by and by. I'm authorized to announce that kingdom is at hand. That means you can reach up and grab it. It's repeated, Luke chapter 10, which is probably my favorite chapter in the Bible, about laborers for the harvest field. And Jesus says, heal the sick there. This is verse 9. Say to them, the kingdom of God has come near to you. And that's our announcement. That's our message. That's our task. Now, how do you know if you have that same authority and that same ability? Because a lot of people say, well, that's for the 12. It's not for me. Luke chapter 10, he gave it to the 70 who he sent out. So, he's expanding it. And then get this real deep in your heart. Whatever the disciples have, you have. This is John chapter 8. Jesus said to those Jews who believed in him, so these aren't the disciples, these are Jews, if you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So if we abide in that message, if we abide in the Logos, if we abide in the authority, then we are his disciples indeed, and we get to announce that the kingdom is here, and that his kingdom will come, his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's just a small taste of what's waiting for you right now. Best of all, it's all completely free. Just click the button on the screen or go to the link in the description and sign up for your free CBN Family account today.